Oh man, look at those. Now, I got to own those. There's some stuff inside that I really would like to get, but you know, I can't really talk about it in there because there's people that really don't know what they're doing, but they see you buying stuff every week, so they just do what you do. So I can't really talk about it when I'm in there, but there's some snowshoes, there's some lily lamps, there's some antique calendars, there's some pretty cool stuff in there, so let's get in there. Oh, that looks like a red one. Nice frame. I just have so many of them right now. They just run hot and cold. All of a sudden I'll sell all of them, and then I'm stuck with them for quite a while. It's like a Yamaha 650 motorcycle tank. I'd like to get that old boat motor tank. Got a lot of guys in this area that restore really old ones. And it's actually a pretty old style. So these are Snowcraft out of Norway, Maine. They look to be in really great shape. Although there's somebody here I know that really wants them, and he's not a reseller, so he's probably gonna outbid me on those, but I would love to have them. I will go pretty high for a reseller. I'd probably go $150 on those, which is right at the end of the limit, because I think they're probably worth $250, but you know, when I sell I have fees too. The cabinet is for sure homemade. It's pretty cool for homemade. Not much over here. What's that? I can maybe I need to get my tape measure and see if I can use that. I have some dressers that are lacking that. Is this mid-century? It is. Looks to be. I wonder who made it. You know, those things just take up so much space. But I think I'd really like to have the pulls. The drawer pulls are pretty cool. Those are 1980s. For sure. Yeah, see, that's the high boy. It's just, yeah, those lower pulls are really cool. Although it's just so much easier for me to sell pulls, and I can, you know, for a set of pulls like that, I can probably get $40, $50 for. It's pretty cool. It just makes more sense to me selling online instead of all this gigantic stuff, which is harder for me to sell in a local market. Looks like an old railroad cart, except it's got the wrong wheels on it. Somebody put wagon wheels on it. The original wheels would have been all steel. Nice bench. Man, is that thing tiny. It's got like zoo animals cast in the iron in the back. Okay, those are modern. I got kind of excited for a second. I thought if these are 60s, they're in great shape. Wow, that's legit. That is an old timer there. Wow. It's a little, like it needs a little help. Somebody did a repair. They're just so hard to sell, rocking chairs, but I don't know why. I just love them. That shelf's kind of cool. Old plate rack. Some terracotta. Almost look like a Big Eyes. Sort of does, but it's... Oh, I don't recognize that one. Looks like your basic lane from maybe the 50s. Take up a lot of space for me. chest is kind of cool. Like somebody spilled an awful lot of stuff on it over the years.
Oof, man, does that stink? Oh my God.
On an oval glass top serving table. Surprised the glass is still intact. Yeah, it's all separated. But still, it's pretty wobbly. Not a real difficult fix though. Really in good shape, cosmetically. Yeah, they're tin serving trays, but you'd be surprised if it's the right one, what they can bring. So they're just okay. Nothing too great. That looks like McCoy. Yep. Old school McCoy. Not the cleanest, but it's okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's really elaborate. That's all glass.
Holy man.
There's nothing I could do with it to get it broke trying to ship it. Can you imagine shipping that? What is this? Pickles and peppers. Don't know that one, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of a nice little crock there. Look at that. I'm not sure. I think I have a piece by that artist already.
That was something when I saw it online.
If I don't have it now,
Definitely want that.
I've had it in the
What's under it?
past.
I need to check out that other one too.
That's USA pottery.
It's all together. I like that. Kind of beat up. That's too bad. They're almost never together like that.
I'm wondering if that bowl underneath it is the same artist. No, something else. It's cool though. I don't know who it is, but it's cool. Yeah, man, I love that. That's pretty cool. Take a run at those. Razors. Oddly, those are kind of making somewhat of a comeback. Those are old, man. There they are. Got the tall one and the shorter one. The shorter one's not all that short. The short one's still like 3 feet tall with the shades on it. These are likely, I'd say late 70s, early 80s, but I'm thinking they're more squarely in the 80s. But still, they're like 40 years old. Popular. All this Lily stuff is popular. Hard to ship though. But I'd risk it. I've seen the one I got, this one right here, I've seen these go for $500 on eBay, like pretty regularly. So yeah, I'll jump through some hoops getting that in the right packaging for a $500 sale. And the smaller ones bring, I've seen rough ones bring 200 and nice ones bring three and a quarter. So there's potential, $700-800 in those two pieces right there. Popcorn maker. Ugh,
Things are always
gross
disgusting
inside.
Pasta machine?
Looks like
I think it's a
pasta maker.
Ampia?
Whoa, I know what these are. So this is a This is Pyromania, and they're hand-blown glass, and there's really a process they go through to get all these wild colors and swirls on them. They're really collectible. That's not Pyromania, that's something else. Oh, it's Mount St. Helens ash glass. They'll sell okay too. So depending on how these look, I mean, these are really subjective, but I've seen these things sell from $40 to $150. No thanks on these. I've bought all the plates I'm ever going to buy anymore. I've got so many plates here that they used to be collectible. Now it's just, they're hard to gift to anybody. It's a really clean set. They're not great sellers, but if it's super clean and I don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops. What is that? It looks like Oneida. Yeah, so it's not actual plate. It's probably just stainless, which is fine. It's just, the value just isn't real super high. All this stuff is pretty clean. People just, if you look around, people have cool stuff in their house. Yeah, so that's an excellent little box there. It's excellent. I buy and sell that kind of stuff all the time. All the time. There's a good market for the category of Tobacciana. This book should be just a bunch of sketchings in there from the turn of the last century. Obviously, they're not the originals. But I might take a shot at that. 10 or 15 years ago, they sold pretty good. All that kind of stuff has kind of gotten slower. So, that thing is really rough. But it's still there. Structo. I don't know. I'd rather buy those in pretty good shape. Oh, this thing is glass. Okay. Let's get some chunks out of it up there. I guess it really doesn't matter because it's supposed to be distressed looking anyway, so why not have some chunks out of it? I don't know, if it goes cheap, I'll buy it. Joy.
Hi, how are you?
Living the dream. How about you?
I am here and working.
You're working today, huh?
Yeah, I volunteered.
Wow. Don't get out much anymore, huh?
Well, we've been doing some things for Army, so
All right.
it was at the point where I said, "Do you need help?" Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it's going to be that bad today. It's not that much here.
It won't take too long. It looks like it's done. What do I say? Boys, a few things I like, but that doesn't mean I buy them. Oh, okay.
Wow, too bad that's cracked. Red Wing. Ugh. It's too bad. Ugh.
Put it, you want to put it right next to it, or?
Well, there you go. I like doing it. All right, you're all set.
Art Deco. Let's cast.
I know it.
Well, these could be pretty good. It looks like a Model T Beluga horn, but with a subtle difference. I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, I've always been able to sell antiquated car horns pretty well, so I'd probably take a run at those. Bunch of old tins. That snowman right there's not bad. This looks modern. No. Silver plate. Not silver. So I really want this. This is, I don't know what year this is. This has have to be pretty old, but that's a really good brand. They still make really top drawer instruments to this day. I saw this stuff in the pictures online. There's just a bunch of old posters, but there's kind of a cool calendar. I think this is probably it. Yeah. Hopefully it's good. I don't really care. If I see something and I like it, then that's pretty much it. I'll probably buy it if it's not prohibitively expensive. Always got to be thinking about, can you come out of it reselling it? You never want to go backwards. I got so many globes right now. Okay. I'm more interested in those cutting boards. Yeah. Those are good.
All I do is hang on the steering.
I don't know about the cookbook, but looks like there's some older milk, but no, that's not real old. None of these are real old so far. No. Cream bottle. It's kind of old. Okay, that one's real old. Embossing, it's a jewel. That's a problem though. They'll sell that all together, and then you end up paying a fortune for one tiny bottle. Let's see if those are cool. Those are decent. That one's decent. They're not.
Your Mother Goose. They have an overhead.
They're not great.
But it's not the best.
Those are some pretty old lithos.
Just like that.
Looks like a commercial kind of picture there. She's cute.
I've done this way.
That's Norman Rockwell.
Well, it's she's worth it. My kids went through.
I've had those type of lithos before. Those really old ones. Not sure what those are from.
I'll do some part-time stuff.
It looks like it's a mile from my house up here. Very cool. I wonder if those are calendar toppers.
Anything good?
I'm not really sure what they were from. Maybe I should read what that thing says.
More or
Might
less.
stay in there.
He's old or he's just...
No, these are probably
Oh,
repop.
yeah, they're
They'll do.
I think I'd probably pick out an old one if I could see it, but
yeah.
none of them look old to me.
Well, you can tell when you flip that over, you tell it.
Of course, there's a dealer I know in Orlando.
Oh,
Salt
yeah.
bath. He cooks everything in salt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But you see how it's folded over there. The old ones not like that.
No, they're just flat across. And the good ones have little rings on them in the corners so that when you put
Yeah.
the screws in or nails in, it didn't chip these out.
No, it's just weighted. It's weighted silver plate just to give it the illusion of being better than it really is. I mean, you could still sell that. It looks incomplete, but see if there's anything in the drawer. Do this one-handed. I need a helper. I need somebody to shoot stuff. Free up my hands. It looks like it could be silver. And that's silver plate. So, swing and a miss. Marbles, old ones, buttons. And that's an old army gun. It's really good. It's really nice. I don't know what I do with it, but it sure is cool. I'd get that one without breaking it. It's real little work. It's beautiful.
Two sold $1 bill. $3.95 is the buyer.
Oh man, those are too good to be
Gibson
true.
book. Now these are all.
Hey, thanks for coming back. I play a tune on my old drum, but that drum head is pretty wasted. Got some pretty cool stuff. I'm constantly amazed when you go to an auction and it looks like largely like just a giant rummage sale. But you keep digging and you find cool stuff. I'm just gonna come get you and take you around instead of me standing here trying to hold stuff up to the camera. All right. 1950s, 1960s, ceramic black horse lamp. The cord, I guess, was not to their liking. Boy, what an easy fix for me. I stop at the local Goodwill and buy old lamps when they're in the dollar rack. I say old, they're not all old. I look for the ones with the freshest cords, all the latest stuff. And I change out all the guts, and it doesn't really cost anything. Here's my big score. Look at these two bad boys. So these are like a Regency Cali vintage lily lamp. This one here is about 5 feet tall. It all works. It just needs a little bit of cleanup. And this is its counterpart, the little bit shorter one, which is about 3 feet tall. And this one has kind of a slight aqua bluish to the shades. And this one's white, but there is a little bit of kind of a blue-green right on the edge. And I've seen these with different color shades on them before. This is it was kind of an expensive buy because there were a lot of people in the room that want them. But I've seen these typically, like you go on eBay and like this particular lamp will bring $250 to maybe $350 depending on how perfect the brass plating is. And I haven't done anything to it. You're just seeing it just how I pulled it out. The cords look good. I mean, they're late 70s, early 80s vintage, I would assume. Same with that. I mean, it just needs a little bit of dialing up. No big deal. And this one, well, there was one on eBay that just sold for $499. So I was pretty happy to get those. I'm in them for, I'm going to guess maybe $120 for the pair. What else do we got? So let's do this. This is an old cast ceiling light bezel that sits at the bottom for a hanging light, and the chain would come through this part. And this would go up and cover your electrical plate against the ceiling. And it was in the box with these really cool old shades. Look at these. Kind of a bell style. Art Deco-ish. I would say those are probably 30s. Maybe 1940s. Probably 30s. And I got 3 of those.
And, with all the lamps that I do and all the wiring and stuff, very cool. These were for tobacco back in the day. This one sadly's got a crack in the top, but it's still trying to stay together. I think that looks like a fresh crack to me, like it happened at the auction, but who knows? And I guess the house where this came out of, the guy was a collector of old tobacco pipes and was a tobacco pipe smoker, and these were where he kept his tobacco. If anybody knows what bike that's off of, please leave it in the comment. If you don't know, don't say. Only if you know. It's been repainted, obviously, but it's kind of all there and not too bent up. And it was in a pile of stuff at the end of the sale, and I just scooped it up and threw it in my pile. I scored a bunch of really old razors. And some of these have really come into their own for value. And there were 4 in here. They made them all different kinds of materials. They made them out of brass. They made them out of nickel. They made them out of stainless, depending on their vintage. And I don't know, I think I can do that one-handed, can I? I am failing. Anyway, you see how the top opens up when you unscrew this. And you change out your razor, or you clean it out. Put it back together, and you're back in business. So these have become collectible over the years, and there was a kind of a neat pair of old glasses in there. I thought they were really cool. You can tell the age on these by the earpieces when they start getting very wire and just wild, right? Pretty cool. So there was that box. So there were a couple of bottles. And this is cool just because of the size of it. Cork, it's just kind of neat. But I don't think it's like crazy old. It's probably 60s. This is old. This is a Klein's. Klein's beverage was, I'm in Wisconsin. This is from Burlington, Wisconsin. It's a molded bottle. You can see the inclusions in the glass. Pretty old. And I think Klein's went out of business in like the mid-30s. And some other company bought them, I think. And then I think they went out of business in the 40s. So I'm gonna call that one 20s to 30s, that bottle. So it's got some pretty good age to it. Look at this beautiful, beautiful drum. It's a Gretsch. And it's a snare. Let's see the snare straps on the bottom. The wood's still good. The adjusters seem to be there. This was a marching band style drum from what I was told. And I'm into it for probably $35 or $40, I think. This should, for those people at home are going, how much? Well, I see these online anywhere from $200 to $600. So it's doubtful that I'm going to get hurt on it. And, the head's bad, but, any old vintage head you're probably not going to want. Some of the really old ones, drummer who was in my high school band had a set of Ludwigs that his grandfather gave him that were really old, like from the 20s. And you could see the skins were skins. You could see like where the veins and stuff were on the skins. It's pretty wild. So let's see what else we can find here. Well, I got some really great pottery pieces. This is some Southwestern Native American pottery. Gorgeous. You see all the feathers that are on the side of that. And it's by MAS, which is a known artist. You can go on eBay and find pieces of pottery by MAS. And it was in the same box. I gotta set this somewhere. I know what happens next. I hit it and it falls down. This was in the same package as it. And well, I just thought this was a cool piece. You can see the way it's not symmetrical, the way it was thrown. It's signed, I can't make it out. I don't get that it's old, I think it's relatively new. But that's some cool detail work. And if that's a hobbyist piece, wow. That's some hobbyist. But yeah, super stoked to get it. This is a Watt, and this is 30s, 40s ovenware. It's got a little wear mark in it there. No extra charge to my customers. A lot of crazing. But, you know, it's 90 years old. Trust me, folks, when you get 90 years old, you're going to have crazing on you, too. I'm not... These particular oven-proof pieces here, and these are, by the way, these are both clearly the same set. I don't know much about those. I could sit here and tell you a bunch of stuff, but I just don't know what I'm saying. I do know what I'm saying here. There's some really cool pieces in here. Ashtrays have become, it's good bread and butter business for me because a lot of old houses had ashtrays in them, and man, on the internet, they sell. This is onyx, and it's an interesting material, and so is this. Comes in different flavors. Has a kind of a Aztec-y kind of vibe to it. This one actually has the same kind of engraving in it. It's just harder to see because of the coloration. This is USA pottery. And it's a oak leaf in good shape. It's like, I don't see any chips or cracks. It's a good one. It's a San Francisco souvenir piece. So what? This one I'd get a little more excited about, but we got chippage. And chippage just makes it hard to sell. These are just utilitarian glass here. No great shakes. But sometimes on my floor stand ashtrays, I'm looking for something to fill the void, and quite possibly that would be it. And then there's this nice glazed one, which is a Red Wing. And that's a clear winner. Anything Red Wing pottery. It's kind of a drip glazy vibe to it. I'm all in. So yeah, those are pretty cool. And then, for the guys, boy, I don't know what to guess what vintage this horn is. If I had to pull a number out of my hat, I'm going to say 40s. This is earlier. This is likely Model T. It looks to me like a Uga horn. I don't know if it works or not. Cobwebs were included. It's got a good dent in it there, which is maybe why they pulled it off the car. Maybe they pulled it because it quit. Maybe they pulled it because they junked the car. I wonder if I got an old battery around here. Might be fun to make it blast if we could do that. What do you guys think? Should I go look for a battery? Let's think about that. We'll come back to it. I also bought this. I just thought it was so cool. It's got a crack here. It's got a little one there too, but I found that if I put a little bit of a chiropractic move on that, I could close it up. So I think what I'll do is I'll just try using a PVA on it, PVA kind of glue, and I'll clamp it up real good for 3 or 4 days. But look at that contour. I mean, geez, that's a butt-forming seat of a chair there if I've ever seen one. That's kind of crazy to me. All the spindles are there. It looks like they're having a little problem on the bottom. But somebody was nice enough to put a new rung in there. And all the rest of it looks really good and solid. So I'll spend a couple hours on this. I'll stain up that rung. I'll see how this cleans up. I could redo it, but I kind of dig the patina really the way it is. And I'll glue that seat up. And I just think that's just a doll, isn't it? How cute is that thing? I just love it. I hope somebody's not sitting in that right now. So there was also a pretty good pile of old art. It's kind of in need of some help. What kind of cracked me up about this is, I mean, well, look, I mean, it's not, I'm getting a lot of ceiling light glare here. I mean, it's not insanely well done, but who knows what they were using for paints back in those days. But what cracks me up is, see the matting? They used a brush with white house paint, and they dragged it around the outside to make it look like it was matted, which I gotta say, it's just kind of, I found that really intriguing. That's an old puppy there. Be careful how I hold that. It's literally coming apart. So it needs a little cleaning and a glue up on this frame. No biggie. Same with this old Currier and Ives litho. The glass literally fell out of it when they handed it to me. It's some old castle, but you'd be surprised that you can actually clean these old lithos up if you're real careful. I'm not a museum curator by any chance, but I will take a lightly dampened sponge and I'll go over it. And I'll clean the glass and I'll put it back together, and I'll redo the fasteners in the back, which would seem to have just gone away, and kind of put it back on the road. This I'm not really sure. It's just looks like a Rockwell piece out of a news or a magazine, maybe even a newspaper. It's not a great quality piece, but there's better stuff here. These were interesting. I wasn't as much interested in the elk, but it was it's 3D. And if you look at it, can you see how the body of the elk is raised up off of the rest of the piece? But I really like this one. I like this one really a lot. It's very indicative of the fall up here in Wisconsin. And again, it's 3D plastic. I'm not really sure what this is. If it was standalone, if it was a part of something else, if it was framed, I honestly don't know. But it's kind of like a topographical map. You know, everything is just raised right up off the surface of it, which I think is unique. This piece, I almost hate to handle it. It's so unbelievably fragile. This is an advertising piece. And back in the day, a lot of there's more to it. Okay. A lot of times these were thermometers. No, it's just the backing of it. This is just paper. It's so unbelievable fragile, you guys. And it's an advertising piece. Here's what I'm used to seeing with these. I'm leaving the lights off here on purpose because of the glare I'm getting on these. But this was all falling apart, kind of in that same shape. It was a advertising thermometer for a place in Delavan, Wisconsin. Look at the phone number, 330. And, the thermometer was missing and the frame was broke. So I found, a period-looking frame. It's not original. And I found a thermometer that was the right size for the opening, just kind of cleaned it all up and put it back together. And that's kind of what I thought this thing was. I thought actually this was going to be a thermometer piece too, but it's something on that order. It's an advertising piece. It says Freiburger on the back, but anyway, it's been colorized, which is interesting. Probably 1940s, I would guess. Could be 30s. That was in the pile of art too. So what this is here, this box just had a bunch of, some interesting, some not so much. Sundrop. This is the main reason I got this. Because I do collect old calendars, like really, really cool old calendars. And I thought this one was pretty unique. I don't know any more about it than that. I don't know about the rest of the stuff, but this I really like. Yeah, well, you know how I say I don't usually buy a lot of glass, and I don't, but I really wanted this one, which is old school McCoy. It's got a little chipper there in the base, but overall it's in good shape. Little planner. And so in the same box, this is CB? DB. This is a DB. These are made in Japan. Oh, great shakes. I think they're still bringing 25, 35 bucks, something like that. This one, believe it or not, I saw a couple of them on in the Google search for the $130 range, but I can't in my heart of hearts believe it's worth that, so. But these are super cool. These are awesome. So these are from the Pyromania Glass Studio. It's art glass. And I got 4 of these art glass orbs. These 3 are all Pyromania. And this Oregon float, this, I see some of these being sold on eBay for 125, 150 bucks. This is a different company. This is from Mount St. Helens Glasswork. And it's ash glass. And again, these are hand blown, of course, and anything handmade like that is. And I don't know if you can see, but it's numbered. Look on the glass itself. Don't look at the tag. It's right above. God, I'm trying to get this glare here. Is it readable, legible at all to you guys? I hate glare. Anyway, they're signed, numbered. Good stuff. So, is there anything else? What do you guys think? Should I try hooking a battery up to the Ooga horn? Maybe we'll do that. That might be fun. Oh my God. Okay, that's not Ooga ing. There's a screw on the back to change how it sounds. But also this is 6 volt and I'm using 12 volt, so it's probably a little much for it. I don't have anything 6 volt. I don't know how to test that. I don't have any transformers here either. I think it would work. So, oh well. Thanks for watching, you guys. Wow, that was a trip.